जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So correct, it was chapter 12, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, Adi Khanda, chapter 12, entitled Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Wanderings Throughout Navadvip. Verse number 1. जय जय महाप्रभु श्री गौर सुंदर, जय हौक प्रभुर यतेक अनुचर. जय जय महाप्रभु श्री गौर सुंदर. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shri Gaura Sundar. Jaya hauka prabhura yateka anuchara. And Jai Jaikar of who? The Anuchars. All glories also to the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. हे नमते नवद्वीपे श्री गौर सुंदर, पुस्तक लया क्रीड़ा करे निरंतर. In this way, Shri Gaura Sundar, pustak laya, with a book in his hand, he always enjoyed. Pustaka laya krida kare nirantan. He always enjoyed pastimes in Navadvip. Remember, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is displaying his panditya, his great scholarship and learning at this time. यत अध्यापक प्रभु चाले न सभारे, प्रबोधिते शक्ति को न जन नाही धरे. Nimai Pandit challenged any teacher, any adhyapak, he would challenge that he would meet, but none of them had the power to defeat our Nimai. व्याकरण शास्त्रे सबे विद्यार आदान, भट्टाचार्य प्रति ओ नाही कत्रिण ज्ञान. Although he was simply a student of grammar, Vyakaran Shastra, although he was just a teacher of grammar, but still he considered the learned Bhattacharyas to be as insignificant as grass. Bhattacharya pratiyo nahika trina jnyan. He would consider them no better than a blade of grass, because none of the teachers could compete with him or satisfy him with answers to his challenges, writes Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Learned scholars who are expert in philosophical literature are known as Bhattacharyas. Who are Bhattacharyas? They are learned scholars who are expert in philosophical literature. Although Nimai Pandit, our sweet Lord, was studying and teaching only Vyakaran, grammar, Sanskrit grammar, he nevertheless did not consider such great scholars who had learned philosophical literatures to be even equal to grass. स्वानुभवानंदे करे नगर भ्रमण, समहति परम भाग्यवंत शिष्यगण. The Swa Anubhav Anande, the self-satisfied Atmaram Lord, traveled throughout Navadvip, Nagara Brahmana, and with whom? Samhati Parama Bhagyavanta Shishyagana, along with his most fortunate students. No one was able to contradict Lord Nimai Pandit's realized knowledge. The Lord wandered the streets of Navadvip by his own sweet will. And who kept him company? His most fortunate students. His most fortunate students. Daive pathe mukundera sange darashana, haste dhari prabhutaya bole na vachana. One day by providence, our Nimai Pandit, he met Mukunda Datta on the road. The Lord held Mukunda's hands and spoke to him. Haste dhari Prabhu. He held the hand of Mukunda. Bole na vachana. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started speaking to Mukunda. Amare dekhiya tumi ki karye palao, aji ama prabodhiya vina dekhi jao. Shri Nimai Pandit asked Mukunda, his classmate, why do you run away as soon as you see me? Let me see how you run away today without answering me. So Nimai wanted to challenge him and said, let me see how you run away today. Answer my question. Mane bhave mukunda aji jini muke mane, ihana abhyasa sab matra vyakarane. Mukunda Datta thought, how will I defeat Nimai today? He is well versed only in grammar. Tekai mu aji jitnya siya alankar, morasane jena garva na kare na ar. I will defeat him with questions on alankar. Because Nimai has only studied grammar, I will challenge him on alankar, Sanskrit alankar, the different literary decorations of figures of speech of Sanskrit, then he may not again display his pride before me. Mukunda is thinking like this. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada writes, as soon as Mukunda was caught on the road by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he thought how Nimai always insulted him, thinking him ignorant of grammar. Therefore, considering Nimai inexperienced in Alankar Shastra, he thought that he would raise questions or problems in Alankar and completely defeat Nimai. He thought like that. Verse 10. Lagila jidnyasa mukundera prabhu sane prabhu kande jata artha mukunda vakhane. Thereafter, Mukunda began to ask Nimai questions. Whatever Mukunda established, the Lord would refute it. Prabhu Khande. Khanda means to break. Nimai would break whatever Mukunda established, whatever he spoke. Mukunda bole na vyakarana shishu sastra balake se ihara vichara kare matra. Mukunda Datta, he challengingly told Nimai, Mukunda bole na vyakarana shishu sastra. What is vyakaran? What is Sanskrit grammar? Shishu shastra. It is child's play. Vyakaran is meant for children. Balake se ihara vichara kare matra. Kids, they indulge in this vyakaran. It's basic. When you start education, first you learn vyakaran. It's elementary knowledge. Alankara vichara kariba to masane prabhu kahe buja tora ye balaya mane. So Mukunda told Nimai Pandit, today we will discuss Alankar, not vyakaran, Alankar. And Nimai Pandit replied, as you desire, as you say, no problem. Jeba laya mane, whatever you say, it's okay. Let's do Alankar, no problem. Vishama yata kavitva prachar padiya Mukunda jitnya saye Alankar. Mukunda then, he read some of the most difficult yet well-known verses and asked Lord Nimai to point out any faults. Sarva Shakti Maya Gaura Chandra Avatar Khanda Khanda Kari Doshe Saba Alankar. Jai Ho! Nimai Pandit Sarva Shakti Maya Gaura Chandra Avatar. The omnipotent Lord Gaura Sundar, what did he do? Khanda Khanda Kari Doshe Saba Alankar. Whatever difficult verses of Sanskrit Alankar, Nimai Pandit was shown, was presented by Mukunda. Nimai Khanda Khanda, he broke all of them. Found so many faults, pointed so many mistakes and faults. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada writes, since Sri Gaura Sundara is the omnipotent supreme personality of Godhead and the source of all incarnations, his knowledge in all scriptures is matchless. Srila Prabhupada's first storefront was called Matchless Gift Shop. Therefore, Lord Gaura Sundar pointed out various ornamental faults in Mukunda's questions. Many faults. Alankar Shastra means ornamentation of the literature, like figures of speech. Mukunda sthapite nare prabhura khandana hasiya hasiya prabhu pole na vachana. Mukunda was unable to re-establish what Gaura Sundar had refuted. Whatever Gaura Sundar had disproved, Mukunda could not re-establish it. Then what happened? Hasiya hasiya prabhu bole na vachana. Then laughing and laughing, our Nimai Pandit, he spoke to Mukunda. Ādi Gadādhara Dāsa mate punthi chaha kali bhuji bayak jhata asi bare chaha. Nimai told Mukunda, Ādi Gadādhara, go home now and bhala mate punthi, go and study nicely the books, carefully you study, and then kali bhuji baya jhata asi bare chaha. And tomorrow, early morning, you come and we will discuss further. Chalila Mukunda lai charane radhuli mane mane chintaye Mukunda kutuhali. After Mukunda took the dust from Nimai's feet and departed, Mukunda thought, Manushera emata panditya ache kotha hena shastra nahi ka abhyasa nahi yatha. An ordinary human being cannot possess such knowledge. Manushya emata panditya ache kota. How can a human being have such panditya, such vast learning? There is no literature that Nimai does not know. He is a grammar teacher, but he completely defeated me in Alankar Shastra today. There is nothing that he does not know. Emata subuddhi Krishna bhakta yajabe tile ko ihana sanga na chhadi ye tabe. If such an intelligent person like Nimai, who knows everything, if only Krishna bhakta haya, if he became a devotee of Krishna, Mukunda is thinking, if this Nimai is so intelligent, so talented, so learned, if he became a devotee of Krishna, then I would not leave his association even for a moment. Hari bol, Mukunda is saying, Tile ko ihana sanga na chhadiya tabe. I will not give up his association for a moment if he became a devotee of Krishna. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada writes in the purport, let me read the purport. Mukunda began to think about Lord Gaurasundar as follows. If such an extraordinarily knowledgeable and intelligent person as Nimai Pandit engaged his mind in worshipping Krishna, Mai Arpita Mano Buddhir, if Nimai engages his mind in worshipping Shri Krishna, then I would not leave his association and go anywhere else even for a moment. Knowledge elevates a person to the highest position in this world and makes one extraordinarily respectable. Correct? If we have knowledge, everyone is attracted. It's one of the vibhutis of Krishna, one of the opulences of Krishna. But if along with such knowledge, devotion to Krishna manifests in a great personality, then it is like gold mixed with borax. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes, when gold is mixed with borax, it becomes even more shiny. Sone pe suhaga. Gold becomes even more shiny if knowledge is mixed with devotion. And what did Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu come to give? 3 things. Anyone knows what 3 things Mahaprabhu came to give to all of us? In the words of Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, we often quote this verse. Anyone knows? Raise your hand. 3 things Mahaprabhu came to give.
Love of Krishna.
Yes, very good. Oh, you're not able to unmute. Okay, 1 second. Let me give the ability. Sorry.
Jive Daya Name Ruchi.
Vaishnav Seva.
Jive Daya Name.
Love in the mood of separation.
Very good. Very good.
Bhakti Yoga.
Yes.
Love in the mood
Who
of
said
separation.
That? Who said Vairagya Vidya?
After this, Divyang Lalita Devi.
Hare Krishna, Divyang Lalita Mataji. Yes, the 3 things. Whatever all of you said is perfect. It's correct. But specifically in this context, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give 3 things. Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yoga, Shiksharthameka Purusha Purana, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari, Kripam Budhiryastamaham Prapadde. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give Vairagya, teach us detachment from sense enjoyment, Indra Tripti, Virakti. Vairagya. Vidya, he came to give us knowledge. Therefore, through Rup Raghunath, Rup Sanatan Goswamis, he gave us such beautiful literatures, isn't it? And through Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, they have given us so much. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Jiva Goswami. Vidya. Vairagya, Vidya, and Nija Bhakti. He came to give his own devotion. And what is his own devotion? What all of you said. Nija means own, Bhakti means the same devotion that he has, he came to give us. And what is that? That is Radha Bhav, Gopi Bhav, Vraj Bhakti. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give all of this, what you all said. Vipralamba Seva. Nowhere it is there. Only Mahaprabhu. Vipralamba Seva. So Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yoga, Shiksharthameka Purusha Purana. That Mahapurush who came to give us these 3 shikshas. Knowledge about renunciation, knowledge about Krishna, and his own special flavor of bhakti, Gaudiya Vaishnavism, that he came to give. So Mukunda is saying that when knowledge is mixed with devotion, it becomes even more attractive. like gold that has a very beautiful shine because of coming in contact with borax powder. Eimate vidyarase vaikuntha ishwar Bhramite dekhena Ādi Gadādhara. Because if there is no devotion, just knowledge, then we become proud. And Mahaprabhu is not impressed by our puny knowledge because he is Sarvagya. How much can we know? Mahaprabhu knows everything. He is Vedanta Krit Vedavid. So Mahaprabhu is not impressed by our knowledge. But Dinera Ādi Gadādhara Kare Bhagavan Pandita Kulina Dhani Bada Abhiman. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu says, Dinera Ādi Gadādhara Kare Bhagavan. Lord Krishna, this verse is very important. Lord Krishna gives more daya to those who are humble. Dinera Ādi Gadādhara Kare Bhagavan Pandita Kulina Dhani Bada Abhiman. But if we have abhiman, if we have pride about Panditya, our high birth, great knowledge, high birth, and our wealth. If we are proud of our wealth, our family, aristocratic family status, or our vast learning and knowledge, then Krishna is not going to come close to us. Krishna will remain far away from us. So therefore, knowledge must be mixed with devotion. And these two factors decide who is Kanishta Adhikari, who is Madhyam Adhikari, who is Uttam Adhikari. Remember from Madhya Leela of Caitanya Charitamrita, Rupa Shiksha, Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us that Shastra Yukti and Shraddha, faith and devotion, this decides. A Kanishta Adhikari, he has weak faith and weak knowledge. So he can easily be disturbed. If an atheist comes and argues with a Kanishta Adhikari, the Kanishta Adhikari will be immediately bewildered and disturbed. He will not know what to say. Because there is no Shastra Yukti and there is no Shraddha. There is no faith and there is no knowledge of scriptures. As Shastra Yukti and Shraddha become more mature, one becomes a Madhyam Adhikari. 1 second. Muktanur, can you chant Hare Krishna? 1 second. Hospital is coming.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
What was I saying? Sorry, my memory is bad. What were you discussing?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave 3 things and
I think you're on mute, Prabhu.
No,
Oh, sorry, wait. I am on mute. Yes.
knowledge, knowledge to support the, the knowledge,
Knowledge and
supported
faith.
by
Thank you.
devotion.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. So when you become Madhyam Adhikari, our Shraddha, devotion, and our Shastra Yukti, our knowledge of scriptures, they become more condensed. Now, a Madhyam Adhikari is generally weak in one of these two. Generally, the Shraddha is there, but Shastra Yukti is not there. Madhyam Adhikari has faith. An atheist will come and tell the Madhyam Adhikari, there is no God, there is no Bhagwan. Don't fast on Ekadashi, don't chant Hare Krishna. Atheist may come and tell all day long to a Madhyam Adhikari that there is no Krishna, become an atheist like me. The Madhyam Adhikari will never become an atheist. He will never become atheist because Shraddha is there. But the Madhyam Adhikari will not be able to defeat the Pashandi, the atheist, in scriptural evidence and quoting proper Shastra. He may not always be able to, especially if the atheist is very well learned in atheism, then he will not, the Madhyam Adhikari may not be able to defeat him in proper arguments. That is the difference. So Kanishta Adhikari, weak Shraddha and weak Shastra Yukti, weak knowledge of scriptures and weak faith. Madhyam Adhikari, faith has become strong, but knowledge of scriptures is not so strong. And Uttam Adhikari, like Srila Prabhupada, powerful. He can take on the scientists. He can sit on the chest of America in 1970s, and there are people landing on moon. There are universities teaching Darwin's theory of evolution, and Srila Prabhupada can sit on their chest and challenge them as a 75-year-old man from India. The Calcutta boy can come and challenge them and defeat them all. And he can transform. He can go to MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and he can ask them, where is the department for teaching the knowledge of soul? And they were all flabbergasted. What is he talking about? And that is Prabhupada, Uttam Adhikari. Tremendous scriptural knowledge. Acharya, every sentence they speak, they will substantiate it based on Shastra. Shastra Yukti, that is called. So, Uttam Adhikari has got tremendous Shastra Yukti and unflinching faith. No matter anyone comes and tells them anything, they will not be bewildered. They will not be bewildered. That is Uttam Adhikari. Maya Devi herself can come and tempt Haridas Thakur. They will not budge. Maya Devi will have to take Diksha. That is Uttam Adhikari. So like that. So these two things are very important. Knowledge and devotion. So Mukunda is saying, Nimai has so much knowledge. Nimai Pandit has so much knowledge. If only he had devotion, I would be so attracted to him. I would not leave his association even for a moment. So this is how we should choose our association. Who do we associate with? One who has Shastra Yukti and one who has Shraddha. One who has devotion for Krishna and one who is knowledgeable in scriptures. Such a devotee we should associate with. Now there are some devotees, they may not be able to quote Sanskrit verses or Bengali verses, but they have understood the essence of Shastra. And in English language or in their native language, they can explain everything. They know the Siddhanta very well. And they will live their life based on Siddhanta. So such devotees also have Shastra Yukti and we should associate with them. Not just someone who is quoting many Sanskrit verses or Bengali verses. That is not Shastra Yukti necessarily. But one who has understood the essence of scripture can explain it in their own language. And they are living their life. Most importantly, they are living their life according to the Tattva Siddhanta. According to the philosophical conclusions, the correct Bhakti Siddhanta, they are following in their life. They have Shastra Yukti. And they are advanced devotee and we should associate with them. Like me, tomorrow morning I gave a class about how we should be near Ahar on Ekadashi. But immediately after the class, I ate. So that is not a real devotee. Ei mate vidyarase vaikuntha ishwar bhramite dekhena Ādi Gadādhara. In this way, the Lord of Vaikuntha enjoyed the life of a scholar. Ei mate vidyaras. This is vidyaras of Mahaprabhu. He is enjoying his scholarly pastimes. Bhramite dekhena Ādi Gadādhara. Now, after his encounter with Mukunda, now there is another encounter. Who he meets? He meets Gadādhara Pandit. Hasi dui hate Prabhu rakhila dhariya nyaya poda tumi ama yao Prabhu diya. Nimai smiled and he caught the hand of Gadādhara and said, aren't you studying Nyaya? So what was Mukunda studying? Alankar Shastra. What is Nimai Pandit expert in? His specialization is Vyakaran. And Gadādhara Pandit is studying Nyaya Shastra. So aren't you studying Nyaya? Jidnyasah Gadādhara bola ye vachana Prabhu bole kah dekhi muktira lakshana. So now he wanted to challenge. He says, come, let's have debate. Nimai said, let's have debate. So then Gadādhara Pandit, he asked a question. Gadādhara Pandit said, okay, so you question me. Gadādhara Pandit said, you question me. So Nimai Pandit asked the first question. Prabhu kahe, kaha dekhi muktira lakshana. Nimai Pandit is challenging and asking Gadādhara Pandit, who has studied Nyaya, muktira lakshana. What are the symptoms of liberation? We have our Mukta Sangha Prabhu here. So Nimai is asking Gadādhara Pandit, what is muktira lakshana? What are the symptoms of liberation? Shastra artha yena Gadādhara vakhanila Prabhu bole vyakhya kari te na janila. Gadādhara Pandit then explained the symptoms of liberation according to Shastras. These are the symptoms of being liberated. Gadādhara Pandit explained. But Nimai Pandit countered. He said, you don't know how to explain properly. Vyakhya karite na janila. You don't know. Nimai told Gadādhara Pandit. Gadādhara bole atyantika dukkha nash. Ihare shastre kahe muktira prakash. Gadādhara Pandit then said, liberation is freedom from misery. Atyantika dukkha nash. Dukkha nash. That is mukti. No more dukkha. That is liberation. This is the meaning of liberation according to Shastra. I am not telling you my own definition. This is according to Shastra. Ihare shastre kahe muktira prakash. This is the definition of mukti according to Shastra. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in the purport, Shri Gadādhara Pandit said, quote, it is stated in various scriptures such as Sankhya Shastras that mitigation of excessive distress is the symptom of liberation. Unquote. In the Sankhya Pravachana Sutras 1.1, it is stated, Atha Trividha Dukkhatyanta Nivrittir Atyanta Purushartha. Mitigation of the threefold miseries. What are the threefold miseries? Adhyatmic, Adidevik, Adibhautik. Mitigation of these threefold miseries is Purusha Artha. It is the goal of life. Nana Rupe Doshe Prabhu Saraswati Pati Hena Nahi Tarkika Ye Karibeka Sthiti. When Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is the husband of Goddess of Fortune, and he is the husband of Goddess Saraswati also, ultimately. He is the Pati of everyone. Pointed out various faults in this statement of Gadadhar Pandit. Nimai Pandit found faults in Gadadhar Pandit's statement. There was no one who could defeat Nimai in argument or who could silence him. Sri Nimai Pandit is the direct manifestation of Vaishnava literatures and the master of Goddess of learning. He is Saraswati Pati. Therefore, no one can equal him in argument. Shri Gaura Sundar properly pointed out how the symptoms of liberation mentioned in Nyaya Shastras are most useless and full of faults. Inaugurating the philosophy of Shri Madhvacharya Pad that Moksham Vishwangri Labham. The symptom of liberation is attainment of the lotus feet of Vishnu. Moksham Vishnavangri Labham. Vishnu Angri Labham. Mukti, liberation, means to attain the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Therefore we say, Om Vishnu Pad. Our Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, they are Vishnu Pad. They have attained Vishnu Pad. So therefore, he established that the existence of gross and subtle bodies which enjoy happiness and distress is temporary, and the living entity's eternal propensity or constitutional duty, Jaiva Dharma, of devotional service to Lord Krishna is the symptom of liberation. Srimad Madhvacharya says, being engaged in Krishna consciousness means being liberated. That is Vishnupad. Hena jana nahi kaye prabhu sane bole Gadadhara bhave aji varthi palaile. No one even dared to speak with Nimai. He was so powerful. And thus Gadadhar thought, I will be relieved to get out of here. Poor Gadadhar Pandit. He was just walking, going home, and Nimai suddenly accosted him, suddenly grabbed him, caught him, challenged him. And when Gadadhar Pandit spoke something based on Shastra, Nimai Pandit, quoting other Shastras, completely defeated him. So Gadadhar Pandit was thinking, I should run away. I'll be so relieved if I can escape. Someone wrote some comment. Oh, sorry, I'm reading old comment. Prabhu bole Gadadhar aji jaha ghara kali bhuji bhaiya tumi asiha satvara. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu said, Oh Gadadhar, aji jaha ghara. You can go to your home today, but come early tomorrow so we can discuss more. Same thing, same strategy. What he did with Mukunda, same thing, same treatment he's giving Gadadhar Pandit. Namaskari Gadadhara chalile na ghare Thakura Brahmena sarva nagare nagare. Gadadhar Pandit also offered his respect to Nimai. Remember, Mukunda also took the dust from Nimai's feet. He had to take dust from Nimai's feet. And now even Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit offered respects to Nimai and went home. Namaskari Gadadhara chaline ghare. And Thakura Brahmena sarva nagare nagare. And what did our Nimai do? He continued to wander the different streets of Navadvip. Parama Pandita Jnana Haila Sabar Sabai Karena Dekhi Sambrama Apar. Everyone considered Nimai the most learned scholar in Navadvip. So they treated him with awe and reverence. Oh, Nimai Pandit, Panditji has come. Most unparalleled scholar, Nimai Pandit. Vikale Thakura Sarva Padu Yara Sange Gangati Re Asiya Vaisena Maharange. Every afternoon, Nimai would sit on the banks of Ganga with his students. Paduyara means with his students. Sindhu Suta Sevita Prabhura Kalevara Tribhuvane Advitiya Madana Sundara. Aha. Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's body is served by Lakshmi Devi. I'm going to read the verse, unmute and tell me what is the name used for Lakshmi Devi in this verse. Okay, play close attention. Sindhu Suta Sevita Prabhura Kalevara Tribhuvane Advitiya Madana Sundara. What is the name used for?
Sindhu Suta.
Yes. Yes. Explain why.
Because
Sindhu.
she is the daughter of the ocean. She came out of the ocean during the churning of the ocean.
Hari Hari. Yes. Thank you, Parima Mataji, and thank you, Devavati Mataji. Sindhu Suta Sevita Prabhura Kalevara Tribhuvane Advitiya Madana Sundara. So, our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is served by Lakshmi Devi, the daughter of the ocean, and Tribhuvane Advitiya Madana Sundara. Our Gaur Sundar is the divine Madan. He is Kamdev. Krishna is also Kamdev. And therefore his beauty is Advitiya in all the three worlds. And then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gives a purport to this line. Sindhu Suta Sevita Prabhura Kalevara. That Sri Gaura Sundar as Krishna is served by so many Lakshmis. He says, Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambhrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Lord Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is always served with great reverence and affection. Sambhrama Sevyamanam, with awe and reverence and affection also, by hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. चतुर्दिके वेडिया वैसेना शिष्यगण मध्य शास्त्र वाखानेना Shri Shachinandana. Surrounded by his students, Shri Shachinandan Gaurahari would give his Vyakhyan. He would give his explanation of the Shastras in the afternoon. Vaishnava sakale tabe sandhya kala haile Asiya Vaishena Ganga tire kutuhale. Now, the Vaishnavas will also come there to do their Sandhya Vandan in the afternoon for their noon Sandhya, Gayatri, and in the evening, their evening Sandhya. They would come on the bank of Ganga. Dure tha ki prabhura vyakhyana sabhe sune harishe vishada sabhe bhave mane mane. As the Vaishnavas, when they came to the bank of Ganga, they heard Nimai's explanations of different shastric analysis and philosophy from a distance. They felt both happiness and lamentation. Harishe Vishad. They would feel harsha and they would feel Vishad also. Happiness and lamentation. Keha bole hena rupa hena vidyajar na bhaji la Krishna na he kichu upakar. Some Vaishnavas said, if one possesses such beauty as Nimai Pandit and one possesses such knowledge as Nimai Pandit, but one does not worship Krishna, na bhajile Krishna, then nahe kichu upakar. Then there is no benefit, there is no welfare, there is no benefit if one does not worship Krishna. Sabei bole na bhai, uhane dekhiya, phaki jidnyasara bhaye, jai palaira. And all the Vaishnavas, they said, dear brother, anyone who sees Nimai Pandit runs away in fear of facing his challenge. They don't want to be challenged by him because he is undefeated. Keha bole dekha haile, nade na ediya, mahadani, prayayena rakhena dhariya. Someone else said, when he sees someone, he doesn't allow them to leave. He grabs them. He captures them. Just as a tax collector captures a debtor. If someone has taken a loan and is not repaying, the tax collector will catch him. Similarly, Nimai catches all of us, the Vaishnavas are saying. Keha bole brahmanera shakti amanushi Kona maha purusha vahaya henavasi. Another Vaishnava said, this Brahman, Nimai Pandit, he has uncommon potency. Brahmanera Shakti amanushi. Manushi means human-like, but he has supra-human abilities, they said. Kona mahapurusha vahaya henavasi. Who is this Mahapurush? Interestingly, in 11th canto, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is predicted. And in that verse also, Vande Mahapurusha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called as Mahapurusha. Yadyapi ha nirantara vakhane na phaki tathapi santosha bada paya iha dekhi. Although Nimai constantly asked shrewd questions, shrewd questions, challenging questions to defeat them. The devotees are saying, we still derive great satisfaction just by seeing him. Tathapi santosha bada paya iha dekhi. Just by seeing Nimai, we feel so much santosh, so much happiness. Manushera emana panditya dekhi nai, Krishna na bhajena sabe ei dukha pai. All the devotees they spoke about Nimai. What did they say about Nimai Pandit? Manushera emana panditya dekhi nai. We have never seen any human being with such panditya. Krishna na bhajane, but he doesn't worship Krishna. Say dukha pai. That's why we are very sad that this Nimai, although he's so beautiful, he's so knowledgeable, he's so learned, but he's not a devotee of Krishna. So we are very sad. Anyonne sabe sadhane sab aprati sabhe bala ihana hauka Krishna rati. All the Vaishnavas, they requested each other, please bless Nimai, that his mind will become fixed on Krishna. Aha. May these wonderful devotees of Navadvip bless all of us, that we also become devotees. Anyonne sabe sadhe na sab aprati sabhe bala ihana hauka Krishna rati. May he have Krishna rati, may he have love for Krishna. They all blessed him. Dandavata hai sabhe padila gangare sarva bhagavata meli ashirvada kare. Then all the devotees, they offered their obeisances on the bank of Ganga to Ganga Devi, and then they blessed Nimai. Nimai is sitting with his students on the bank of Ganga, teaching them all these dry scriptures like Vyakaran and Sanskrit grammar. But the Vaishnavas are feeling sad that he is not a devotee. They are feeling happy because he is so knowledgeable, so beautiful. But they are sad that he is not a devotee. So therefore, they pray to Ganga and they bless Nimai. What would they bless? Hena kara Krishna Jagannathera Nandana Tora rase matta hau chadi anyamana. Such a beautiful verse. This is the Ashirvad. This is the blessing that all the Vaishnavas of Navadvip gave our Nimai before he manifested himself as a devotee. Hena kara Krishna Jagannathera Nandana Tora rase matta hau chadi anyamana. This is the blessing that we all want. What is it? Oh Krishna, please let the son of Jagannath Mishra, become absorbed in you without deviation. Chadi anyamana, without deviation, ananya chintayanto mam. What should happen? Tora rase mattahu. May he become absorbed, may he become transcendently mad in absorption of you. Yena kena prakarana mana Krishna niveshay. The Vaishnavas of Navadvip began to pray to Lord Krishna. May Nimai Pandit, the son of Jagannath Mishra, give up all other endeavors, all other engagements, and simply engage in worshipping Krishna. May Nimai Pandit also manifest uncommon devotional service of Krishna, like those that have earned him the highest elevated position of learning in the world. The devotees are blessing him that just like Nimai is the greatest Pandit in the whole world, greatest learned scholar in the whole world, hey Krishna, make this Nimai the greatest devotee. Now he is the greatest Pandit, make him the greatest devotee. Hari Bol. Niravadhi prema bhave bhajuka tomare hena sanga Krishna deha amasa bakare. The devotees continued to pray. They said, let Nimai constantly worship you with love, O my dear Krishna. Oh Krishna, please let us have such association. We want association of that Nimai, who is Niravadhi Prema Bhave, Bhajuka Tomare, who is worshipping you continuously with intense love. That Nimai we want. Antaryami Prabhu Chitta Jane na Sabar Shrivasadi Dekhi Lei Kare Namaskar. Antaryami, Krishna is super soul. He is in everyone's heart. Ishwara Sarva Bhutana Mrideshe Arjuna Tishtati. As super soul, Krishna knows the heart of all living entities. And whenever he saw devotees like Srivas Thakur, he would offer them his respects. So Nimai is super soul. He understood that these devotees are desiring like this. They are praying like this. So whenever he would see Srivas, he would offer him respect because Srivas Thakur was elder to him. Bhakta Ashirvada Prabhu Shire Karilaya. Bhakta Ashirvade se Krishna the Bhakti Haya. Our Nimai accepted the devotee's blessings on his head. Bhakta Ashirvad Prabhu Shire Kari. Lay. For devotional service to Krishna is attained only by the blessings of devotees. I repeat, Bhakta Ashirvade se Krishna te bhakti hai. How do we get Krishna bhakti? Only by the Ashirvad, the blessings of devotees. Therefore, we should request devotees, please bless me. Please bless me. Please pray for me. Please bless me. Please bless me. I'm dependent. So all of you, please bless me and please pray for me. And I also pray for all of you, that may all of you become completely transcendentally mad with Krishna Prem. Radha Krishna Pranamor Yugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gati Aranahi Mor. May this become the motto of all of your life. This verse of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes, although Krishna is the only sovereign master of the 14th world, he nevertheless accepted on his head the blessings of his devotees. The devotees' blessings are so powerful. I repeat, the devotees' blessings are so powerful that by the influence of devotees' blessings, even a living entity who is averse to Krishna, Krishna Bahirmukh, averse to Krishna, becomes attached to Krishna's lotus feet. This is so important, my dear friends. To have the blessings of devotees in our life is so important. Now, I will stop here and I want to hear from all of you. Give me some examples from Shastra where the blessings of devotees were very much instrumental in making someone a great devotee. Please raise your hand. Yes,
Valmiki Rishi.
Parima Mataji,
Valmiki Rishi.
So Valmiki Rishi, there is a difference. There's a difference. Valmiki Rishi, he surrendered to Valmiki Muni. He surrendered to Narad Muni.
Yeah.
And the bhajan that was given to him, the bhajan method that was given to him, he accepted it. Even though he could not say Ram, Ram, Narad Muni said, you chant Mara, 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 Mara. It will become Ram, Ram eventually. So you chant. So Valmiki Muni was willing to hear from Narad Muni. But I am asking, just like our Nimai Pandit, who is manifesting himself not as a devotee at that time. Inside there is devotion, full of devotion. He is the personification of devotion. But someone is praying for him because he is not manifesting his devotion yet. Someone is praying for him. May he become a great devotee. So examples, okay. So now Mukta Sangha Prabhu, go ahead.
So Dhruva Maharaj and Narada Muni, is it considered?
Dhruva Maharaj and
Narada Muni.
Dhruva Maharaj and Narada Muni, yes, that is a good example, because Dhruva Maharaj wanted wealth.
Yes.
And Sthanabhilashi, he wanted wealth, but Narad Muni came and blessed him so that he becomes a devotee. So yes, that is there.
Mrigari.
Who said Mrigari?
Me Vamsidhari.
Hare Krishna, Vamsidhari Gopal. Yes, that's a very good example. Because Mrigari was so ruthless that he was torturing the animals. When Narad Muni saw the half-dead animals, he said, who is this person giving so much pain? And Narad Muni decided that this person must become a devotee. Person must become a devotee. So good. Then we have Saujanya Mataji.
Prabhuji, now I don't know if my answer will be right. Prahlad Maharaj and Narad Muni.
Prahlad
Maybe
Maharaj
not,
is already devotee.
Yeah,
I'm asking
he was
someone is not a devotee.
yes.
Someone prays that this
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
becomes a
mine
devotee.
is wrong. Yeah.
Yes, Divyanga Lalita Mataji has given a very good example in the chat box. She has said that Lakshahira and Thakur Haridas. When Lakshahira came to cause the downfall of Haridas Thakur did a sankalpa that this lady, I can leave, but I want her to become a devotee. So for her sake, Haridas Thakur stayed there and prayed for her. Okay, Ladini Gopika Mataji.
Prabhu, Nalakuvera and Manigriva.
Yes, very nice example. Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they were completely absorbed in materialism. They were standing Digambar in front of Narad Muni, shameless, enjoying wine and women very close to Kailash, where the greatest devotee lives. Imagine, Shankar Bhagwan is staying there, and very close there, close by in Mandakini Ganga, they are Dhalam's almost. So yes, that's a very good example of Nalakuver Manigriv. Narad Muni saw and his heart was bleeding with compassion. I have to help them. I have to make them devotees. Excellent. So now we have, I was waiting for Kasturi Manjari Mataji. I was wondering how Kasturi Manjari Mataji has not raised her hand. So yes, Kasturi Manjari Mataji, please go ahead.
Prabhu, actually I was thinking of Nalakuvera Manigriva, but then I was just thinking about Putana, because when she came to Vrindavan to feed Krishna, then all the Brajavasis, they thought she is such a beautiful, she looks like a goddess of fortune, and they let her go to feed Krishna, to meet Krishna, and then Krishna delivered her. So somehow I felt that could be an example.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes. Now, Mukta Sangha Prabhu, you want to say one more example?
No, Prabhu, I didn't.
Devavati Mataji, you had raised your hand.
Prabhu, I was thinking about Nalakuvera and Manigriv, so but Aladini Mataji said that.
Yes, Nalakuver Manigriv, good example. Yes, Vivek Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So I was thinking like Srila Vyasadeva, he wanted Srila Sukadeva Goswami to get attracted towards Srimad Bhagavatam. Is that a no?
Beautiful. Very good example. Very nice. Vara Pidam, Natavara Vapuhu. Spoke that verse to attract Shukadeva Goswami. Yes, thank you, Vivek Prabhu. And Shamapriya Mataji.
Prabhuji, Jagayan Madai?
Oh, I was waiting. This is the example I had in my mind. Jagayan Madai. When Nitai saw Jagayan Madai, he said, first I have to deliver them. Let them become devotees. If they become devotees, then the glory of my Gauranga Mahaprabhu will spread everywhere. That is the example I had in my heart. Yes, Jagayan Madai. Perfect example. Nityananda Prabhu prayed for them, for their deliverance. Just like the devotees are praying for Nimai. Okay, there is anyone else? Mukta Sangha Prabhu, you are saying something?
No, this Jadabharat and Rahugana.
Yes, that's also a very good example. Jadabharat saw that this Rahugana is so attached. He is willing to get so many ants killed for his comfortable ride. For Maharaj Rahugana, it is just a little bumpy ride, intermittently. He should tolerate that, but he cannot tolerate that. And he wants to give death penalty to the poor ants. For the ants, it is death. For him, it's a bumpy ride. For them, it is death. And he's saying, give them death, but don't give me bumpy ride. Jadabharat was saying, what kind of king is he? He should be delivered. So yes, very beautiful examples. Very beautiful examples. Yes.
Prabhuji, we have many in the Chaitanya Leela itself.
Bolo.
Gopal Chapal, Devanand Pandit, they were all non-devotees. They always opposed Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, but they ultimately got the mercy through some devotees. Yeah, but we have plenty of examples in Chaitanya Leela itself. So
yes, nice example. But we are specifically saying that devotees prayed. Someone who was not being a devotee and another devotee prayed, and then that person became a devotee. Examples like that.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as Gopal Chapal is concerned, Gopal Chakravarti is concerned, and Amogh is concerned, they were punished and they were rectified through punishment. Yes, Pradyumna Prabhuji, Pitamaha, please go ahead.
Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya.
Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. That's a very nice example. He was talking all this impersonal philosophy, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was silently listening for a week without saying anything. And then he delivered Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. Yes, thank you, Pradyumna Prabhuji. Anyone else wants to give an example? Then I also, Vinit Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Vinayak Prabhu, Hari Bol.
Prabhuji, what about Chitraketu and Angira Muni?
Very good example. Chitraketu Maharaj was so attached, he did not understand that in this material world, every pleasure that we enjoy, we have to pay a price. Harsha Shok. Anything in this world will give happiness initially, but later on it will cause pain. In Gita, Krishna says, what tastes like nectar in the beginning becomes poison in the end. And bhakti may taste like poison in the beginning, but becomes like nectar in the end. So material enjoyment, indriya tripti, sense gratification is like nectar in this world, but later on it becomes cause of misery. It becomes cause of misery. Therefore, Angira Muni said, name your son Harsha Shok. Harsha first, then Shok. Because death is there for everyone. So yes, seeing that Chitraketu Maharaj, who is Chakravarti Samrat of the whole world, but is so attached to these mundane things, like having his own seminal son, not a very high class mentality. Angira Muni wanted to uplift. Yes. But just like Nimai Pandit had not yet manifested himself as a devotee, but the Vaishnavas, headed by Srivas Thakur, Advaita Acharya, and others, they prayed that Nimai should become a devotee. Mukunda Datta, Gadadhar Pandit, they all prayed for him that he should become a devotee. There is an example, one more example, very close to our hearts. Anyone want to take a guess? Someone prayed. Should I tell?
Prabhupada prayed for all the devotees in the US that they should become devotees.
Very good example. Very good example. But yes.
Prabhupada himself.
Haribol! Yes, that is what I was waiting for. Thank you, Kasturi Manjari Mataji. What was it? Tell me. Tell me the father's prayer and the mother's prayer, both.
Yeah,
Rajni and Gaur Mohande.
Gaur Mohande always prayed to each and every sadhu that blessed him, my child, that he becomes a devotee of Radharani.
Srimati Radharani. How sweet. And mother?
Mother also similar. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she stopped. She was not eating from her right hand until
Prabhupada's protection. Yes. Our Prabhupada is one example of the same. What is happening in Gaur Leela happened in Prabhupada Leelamrit also. Haribol! So with this, my dear friends, we will stop. We have some kirtan going on, Ekadashi kirtan, so I'll go down and join the kirtan. Harinam Sankirtan.
Which verse did we stop to? Which verse did we stop?
Oh, which verse did we stop? Good question. Oh, one second. I'll tell you right now. We stopped exactly at verse number 46. 12th chapter, verse number 46.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Bhakta Ashirvada Prabhu Shire Kari Lay Bhakta Ashirvade Se Krishna Te Bhakti Hai. Beautiful verse. That Krishna Bhakti comes by Bhakta Ashirvad. श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय, श्रील वृंदावन दास ठाकुर महाशय की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, our most beloved founder acharya and savior जगत गुरु नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, एकादशी तिथि की जय, बताए गौर
Thank you.
हरे कृष्णा।